Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. It's the first Monday of the month and that means there's a new kit from Hero Arts and that's what I will be using in today's tutorial. Hi everyone, I'm Yana Smakula and I'm hoping you will love this video. I have one card to share using just the contents of my kit, and also I have two Happy New Year cards in the second half of this video using the kit and one of the add-on background stamps. The kit this month has a whimsical fairy tale theme to it with lots of sentiments like I wish you the best, may your wishes come true, no wish is too big or too small, and other sentiments as well. Now, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with my kit, how I wanted to use it, so I decided to do what I always do in cases like this, which is stamp a background design or pattern. You can use literally any stamp and create a unique one-of-a-kind background with its help. So that's what I settled on for this video. I picked a sentiment stamp for the center of my panel, and next I arranged images of dandelions around it, coming in from the edges of the card, framing the sentiment, so to speak. Now, I used alcohol marker-friendly ink and stamped all of the images onto white paper. I'm not going to go into detail here as I pretty much show this in every video that I make and there's nothing new to see, but if you have questions about any part of the card making process, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Also in the video description, you can find links to all of the products that I'm using today and also a link to my blog where I am joining Hero Arts Blog Hop with other designers, and I invite you to hop along for more inspiration featuring this kit. Once my stamping was done, I used a few of my Copic markers. I consulted my trusty Copic marker coloring chart. I have a video explaining what it is linked right here, so watch it if you're not sure what it is and if you'd like to make a similar chart. It's super helpful for coloring. And then I started doing very simple and quick coloring. I used G99, G94, and YG03 colors to color the greenery here. Y35 and Y17 colors to color the flowers and the seeds, R24, R27, and R39 colors to color the ladybug, and I also used C7 and B00 markers. Once my coloring was done, I adhered this panel onto an A2 white side-folding card base, and I embellished it using sequins from the Champagne Sequin Mix from Hero Arts. Very simple card with some super basic coloring. Moving on to the other two cards that I have for you today, and both use this fabulous Starlight, Star Bright background and an ombre technique. Now, I love to use my Hero Arts ombre inks for stamping color layering images. The ombre ink always gives some additional interest to the image, but I also love the look of ombre on my backgrounds. Now, you can't quite use an ombre ink pad to stamp a full A2 card background, but you can use your regular ink pads in that ombre manner. So here I picked 3 blue ink pads to ink up a blue ombre background for my card. I'm inking up the top of the background using navy, next using Tide Pool for the bottom section, and finally for the middle, I'm using Summer Sky. So you basically just need 3 ink pads, a light, a medium, and dark, and use them to ink up sections of the background stamp overlapping each other. Overlapping is the key here, as when you overlap, you soften that harsh line that you will otherwise have in between the two colors. So you just need to do that little dance that you usually do when you use your ombre ink pads. Here, I'm using my stamp platform to stamp this background as I want to stamp it several times to have the best possible ink transfer. Now, I later changed my mind and I used a different lightest color. I used Pool as the one that I had selected previously. It seemed a little bit too light for my taste, so I re-stamped the background. I'm sorry my hair was getting in the way all the time. It just did not want to stay in place. So here's my background all nice and done. The best part, it took less than 5 minutes to make. It looks like it took me a lot longer. It took a lot more time for planning and actually making it. But the reality is the background stamp does all the work for you. You just ink it up and you are ready to go. And I love stamps like this. To turn this background into a card, I'm going simple again. Just a small sentiment stamped in black, and an image of a fairy, of a beautiful fairy from my kit. I stamped the fairy image in Copic marker-friendly ink, and once again I used my alcohol markers to color it. I didn't use traditional colors, but instead I used blues, especially blue marker for her hair to make her look even more whimsical. Now I picked blue markers here to match the background of my card, and you'll also see me stamp another background in purple and color another fairy image in purple color as well to match that. So here's another tip for you. You can use the Copic marker colors to match the background stamping for a more cohesive look. Here I used B99, B34, B21, B00, and B000, as well as E00 for her skin. I die cut this image out using a coordinating die, and then I just foam mounted it onto my card next to the stamped sentiment. To add some sparkle, I used my Tonic Studios shimmer pen, and I added some shimmer to her dress, the wand, her hair, the wings, as well as the background around the wand. Now for the purple card, I used the same approach, just different colors. I went with grape juice, orchid, and soft purple. And here I try to sort of imitate clouds with my ink pads. You can see that I didn't apply the color onto my stamp on a straight line, but rather wiggled my ink pads a little bit to have jagged edges that ended up looking kind of cloudy on the finished background. So just something else for you to try when you do your stamping. Finally, I wanted to turn these cards into New Year projects. The sentiment was fitting for this, saying no wish is too big or too small, and there is that tradition of making a wish right before the clock strikes midnight. So I added simple Happy New Year sentiment to each of the cards, and I heat embossed it in white embossing powder on black cardstock. The sentiment came from another stamp set from Hero Arts that's also a favorite of mine, and it is linked below. I hope you'll give this idea a try. If you do, remember to share online and tag us on social media. We always love seeing what you guys are making. On the screen, there's a link to a playlist with all of my Hero Arts video tutorials. Subscribe now not to miss any new card making videos. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.